Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your East Oakland advocate. Well, today's homeless survival tip is about vermin, and it's that time of the year. It's early spring. It's first week of March here, and we've had an explosion, a literal explosion of rats uh, here in the encampment. And so um, I've put out my usual stuff, which you can see behind me. That's baking soda right there. And I use the baking soda on dry dog food. What I do with the dry dog food, I get a cup or two, put it into a plastic bag, and then I pour the baking soda directly into the bag and let it marinate for at least 12 hours. What the baking soda does, it penetrates into the dog food. And so while the rats and mice are feasting on um, the tasty dog food, they're also ingesting lethal doses of baking soda. But the thing that the rats have figured out, and also because it's been raining off and on, is that if they drink water, it neutralizes uh, the baking soda, and so the baking soda becomes inactive, and they're fine. And so they've learned that, and now I have to resort to the lethal baits, and that's these. And this is by Tomcat. I'll show you the container. This is the container. This is 4 pounds of this rat and mice bait, and I set that out several nights ago, or actually 2 nights ago, and I put 3/4 of that bucket, 3/4 of that, 3 pounds out all around uh, my shelter here. And the next morning, there was not a single chunks bait block to be found anywhere. And so what that tells me is that these are pack rats. The pack rats will literally find the food and then keep coming back and taking it back to the nest, which is good because we're going to kill a big family of rats. And I've already this morning there was literally a body of a rat laying on the floor inside my shelter when I went to go make my tea this morning. So I know it's working. Uh, I've got to set some more out for the rest of the rat population. But this is one of those times when I really hate using this stuff because in the event that birds or cats or other animals eat those dead rats, it the poison that's inside the rat is going to also poison that animal that's eating that dead carcass. So that's why I hate using that. I prefer to use the baking soda, but then when uh, we'll have to go back to that after spring, once all the rainy season has passed, and just make sure there's no water for them to drink. Because when they eat uh, about 1/4 ounce, a half an ounce of the marinated dog food with baking soda, it's usually more than enough to make them puff up into it. They'll look like a tennis ball with legs, literally, and it'll kill them. Because the when the baking soda goes active on the stomach acids of the vermin, they can't stop that. And hopefully they've eaten enough where their stomach is full with the dog food, but also the burp. They can't burp, and they can squeak, so they exhale a little bit there. But in terms of farting out anything, they can't fart enough. Uh, and so they just puff up like balls. And then I've been noticing some this morning. I found two close by that were deceased. So anyway, we know that the poison's working. These are pack rats who are literally they took 3 pounds of bait back to wherever they congregate, and it's going to kill the whole group. But this morning I heard one, and uh, it was doing its death scream, so to speak, uh, while it was dying, and then I found it uh, earlier this morning. So anyway, we know it works, and this is one of those rare occasions where a poison uh, rat bait is necessary. And this is one of the survival tips, because you don't want the rats inside of your um, shelter, because number one, they're going to eat your food, and then they're going to contaminate it with their germs, bacteria, their urine. You'll see the rat poops, mouse poops everywhere, and that will contaminate your foodstuffs also. So you want to make sure that you don't have an infestation. Not only that, but they also are so annoying, because they'll come literally right next to you and look at you, and then run away as soon as you move. Uh, I've had that where they came halfway across the room, and they were staring at me and the dog while we were sleeping, and then as soon as I move, you know, then it runs off. But also you hear them running on the shelves. They're going in and out of under the plastic, because I don't have plastic all the way down in some parts because the generator, and so they're going in and out through that opening. But now with them being poisoned and everything, I should have a lot less of that issue. So anyway, that's the tip for today. Uh, Chunks, uh, rat and mouse poison. You can also use the sticky traps. The sticky traps work really well once the ambient temperature gets above 55 degrees. If the temperature is below 55 degrees, don't bother using those sticky traps, because sticky traps, uh, the cold makes them less sticky, and then once that happens, they're ruined, and they're of no use after that. So you have to go with the poison. So anyway, that's the tip for the day. Thanks for joining me. We'll be right back.